What's up, everybody? I'm Ahmed Ashkar. I'm the founder and CEO of the Global Hult Prize Foundation. It's awesome being here with you today. We get a lot of requests on what is Hult Prize. We're a community of young people who are literally leading a generation to change the world, and that's what we do. And some people say, "Oh, well, that's a very aspirational thing that you guys are. How do you do it?" Very, very simple. We provide students, college students around the world, who have effectively no experience in business, no experience in impact, no experience with anything other than seeking out a degree. Okay? And we transform them into agents of change. We give them this thing, and it's called the Hult Prize. It's an opportunity for young people to, with no strings attached, go out and try to build a business that does good for humanity, does good for the world, while simultaneously generating a profit, a business. And the way that we do that is by, number one, inspiring. Our job, my job, is to inspire you, and your job is to inspire others to think about this idea of impact and how to get sustainable impact through enterprise. Two, this is the idea of education. I will teach you how to achieve impact through business. The third thing we do at the Hult Prize is we give you guys, young people, an opportunity to compete, right? So many times you're inspired or you learn at school, but you don't have a chance to actually put your learning into practice. And that's something we take pride at the Hult Prize. We run the world's largest demo days, the world's largest student competition. And that's part of the underlying overall kind of program at Hult Prize. So we give you, young people around the world, an opportunity to take the learning, to take the inspiration, put them together to solve one of our annual challenges. The fourth thing we do is we actually accelerate. So whether you're competing on campus or whether you go on to compete at one of our many regionals around the world, or you qualify all the way to our accelerator, we take pride in moving you from a very basic idea to a full-blown commercial business that's in the market, having impact and making money. The fifth thing we do at the Hult Prize is we scale. And we do that through funding. We do that through connecting you to our amazing network, which literally has executives from over 120 countries. And we take them and we use that influence, that knowledge, that inspiration to help you take your business and go to market. And then we provide you with a little bit of seed money. So it's all about making that inspiration come to life with a little education, an opportunity to compete, an acceleration opportunity to take that idea and go into market, funding, and scale.
So, we are live. A very good evening to everyone present and all the viewers of this session. I, Manish Gupta, Deputy Campus Director at the Hult Prize Nirma University, welcomes you all to this power session with our guest and speaker, Mr. Manish Ranjan. Also, we have with us our outreach partner, Trending in Ahmedabad. You can find all the most happening events in Ahmedabad on their page. The link to their handle is in our description. Moving ahead with the session, our speaker, Mr. Manish Ranjan, is the co-founder and CEO of NanoHealth Care, a 2014 Hult Prize winner. NanoHealth Care has an aim to leverage technology to make clinical advancement available, affordable, and accessible to people from all walks of life. Mr. Manish Ranjan also works as a consultant with I2 Technologies, designing business processes aimed at improving efficiency and portability and profitability for the MNCs. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Okay. So, to start with the session, sir, I would really love to know about the initial idea that pioneered the thinking of what we call now the nano healthcare.
Hi, thanks, and good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining in today, and I will try my best to share and hopefully motivate you to do your best to take up Hult Prize and just as a journey. It's not because about winning it, but it's also, I mean, it's all about what you learn out of the journey. So, just like many of you, I was studying at Indian School of Business. I was at Hyderabad at that time, and there are many competition out there which keeps coming, and this was Hult Prize initially was just one of them. But when I looked at it, the idea of it was at first the challenge that year was in healthcare about how do you solve the problem of non-communicable diseases like diabetes, hypertension, etc. And I was interested in healthcare, so that struck me first. Then the whole idea was to solve the problem for poor people, so that was another big thing. And then when we saw former President Clinton, who's one of the most respected presidents of United States, that was another a big inspiration and attraction, and of course the money at the end. I mean, who doesn't like $1 million? So yeah, so that with all those things together, I mean, we said, okay, this is worth something, with giving our best shot. And that's when the entire team kind of got together, and we started figuring out how do you solve this problem of non-communicable disease. So I'll have to go a little bit of detail about the problem itself so that it makes sense for everyone. And the challenge was that two-thirds of all the deaths today, Corona, is now, but before that, the biggest killer was blood pressure and cardiac heart-related ailments. I mean, even today, they are the biggest killer compared to even Corona, but it's just that the Corona kills you in few days. And while the problems of heart, diabetes, etc., takes years for you to to have a direct impact on you. So when we realized that the problem is is huge, because 67% of all deaths were happening because of that. And within that, there were like three main problems, which we call it like underdiagnosis, where people just don't know that they're actually sick with a disease. Then for poor people especially, it's not easy always to find the right doctor. And then at the end, it's poor compliance, where the challenge is that people don't take medication for their entire long life, and so that they can manage their diseases and so on. So and that is where what when we pitched to the judges across multiple events, they really liked the fact that we were talking about like the whole coming up with the entire solution and not like a one point of the solution. And the whole point of impact was always there. So it was not the idea was not lost into transaction, each and every transaction, but it was like we are solving a problem in full. And that's kind of attracted it. And over a period of time, of course, it has been a long time since then, but we have also learned multiple things, and failed multiple times, learned multiple times. But where we are today, we are able to pretty much give a completely different picture to healthcare. And the way I put it is today's healthcare pretty much worldwide is reactive and fragmented, and we are making the current health systems a lot more proactive, coordinated, and continuous. So yeah, I think the whole purpose of Hult Prize when we begun, I feel proud to say that we have been able to solve it. Now the goal is to scale it to as many people as possible. Yeah.
That's great to hear, sir. Sir, I would also like to know, as these are many stages, there are many stages for the Hult Prize, from beginning from the on-campus, then they go to the regionals, and then they go to the Hult Castle. That is like the main thing people focus on. So how the Hult Castle played a vital role in modifying your idea or changing your idea, or how was the experience?
Yeah, I mean, one is of course, I mean, the castle itself, which is a very I mean, like, it's just great to be there. But the what is most important is the kind of people you get to meet over there. I mean, especially now, when it's very, very difficult to actually find, like when we are all locked down and slowly things are opening up. I mean, it's a great to meet many like-minded people. When I say like-minded, I mean what you heard Ahmad saying before. It's not about just building a business. It's also about building an ethical business. It's also about building an impactful business, which can actually create real impact in people's life. And that as if the business as if was not difficult enough to build, but this actually takes it to another level. Where we are talking about building a business with impact for like all walks of life. You can serve the rich people, but you also have to make impact into lives of, let's say, poor people, or the people who do not have everything what they should have. So yeah, so I think so the kind of people you get to meet there is not about all the teams which have basically sole focus of solving that year's challenge, but also about like how different ways of doing it. So there's a lot of learning that happens. There's a lot of motivation and inspiration that happens over there. And one is the teams, but the other is the Hult Prize team itself. As I've always said, they're like so inspirational. I mean, they have done it for years and they have stuck through up and downs. I mean, and and they are always there to make sure that you are able to provide. Your team is able to do the best over there. Is able to learn the most out of that experience. And then there are mentors and previous winners that comes periodically, and they've shared their experience with the teams, others, and again, that's an inspiration in itself. So that also is a way to look at it. Like you are no different than any one of them, and if they can go ahead and win the finals in front of thousands of people, get a trophy from President Clinton, then you can do that too. So yeah, so in overall, it's an amazing experience. I think very, very inspirational, life-changing experience. Yeah.
Okay. So, adding to that experience, I would also like to know about the main gala event because it is held at the UN Assembly, and how was that the final day?
No, I think, I mean, like I said, I mean, it's a life-changing experience in itself, right? I mean, like sitting here, none of us, I mean, we have seen UN only when, our Prime Minister or, some other dignitaries talk in the UN Assembly. I mean, the other room is like, not exactly the same, but it's as prestigious to be there than otherwise. So yeah, I mean, I can assure you that it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to just to be there. But I think it's not about just that, 4 or 5 or 6 hours which you're there, but it's all about like the steps that you take to actually get there, right? So and that's like the most you really got to be a very courageous. You really got to be very I mean, a lot of motivation has to be there to work in the idea for that long. I mean, it's almost a year-long competition. There's so many stages. So over in some, it's just crazy, amazing to be there. The kind of people you get to meet, like CEOs, leaders, and some of the big names which you have heard and seen in newspapers, and suddenly you see, oh, they're just standing there. You can go and say hi to them. You can take pictures with them. So yeah, so it's just an I mean, like once in a lifetime opportunity. So it's just amazing. I mean, you can. I mean, there's a reason why we all should work so hard to get there, and it's completely worth it.
That's great to hear, sir. Also, right now you talked about your the final day. Uh, what was in your mind like the winners was announced, your name came up, Mr. Bill Clinton himself handed you the trophy. So how was like after that? Like how was the night after that?
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, that's like every time I think about it, still I get goosebumps. So Yeah, I mean, we never, I mean, like, it's hard to expect. I think all the teams who pitch over there is as good. And you just got to be lucky, I would say, on that particular day to actually win it, because it's very, very little differences. And I know that the role of judge is really, really tough at that time to actually select one. Yeah, so when our Indian name of the Indian School of Business came over, I mean, that was announced. I mean, we were surprised. We were, I mean, shocked. We knew that we had a good chance. I mean, we were a strong team. We had a good solution, which could actually make an impact. I mean, we had no doubt on that. But to actually go ahead and win it, I mean, again, like I'm saying, it's a dream come true. I mean, something which you wish for your entire life, and that when that happens, that's an experience that was. And after that, yeah, it was long night. I mean, with just too many thank yous, too many congratulations. I mean, you are like the person who all, like, thousands of people have come there to know that who's going to be that team. And when you are that team, then you're just overwhelmed at that point of time. So yeah, it has been, I mean, yeah, so it's an amazing experience in some, but the next day morning again, the responsibilities that comes with it was back up. So and yeah, so I mean, winning is definitely a big deal. But yeah, of course, it comes with a significant amount of responsibilities on you, and I mean, it just also pushes you to make to actually go ahead and do what you really wanted to do at the beginning. So yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
Truly say, because after winning the prize, you have that social responsibility on yourself. Like, I have won this prize, now I have to do something with this, and to make it to a greater scale, I have to do something. So
Sure. I mean, yeah.
my next question is based on that itself. So, as you won the high prize competition, your startup actually got the resources it needed. So, how was your transition from a startup to a corporate, and what are the difficulties you faced, or what are the good things that you can share?
Yeah, so I would say I mean, this is where, many of, I would say, the early startups, I would say, make a difference. That money raised is equal to, like, problem solved, or a company, a successful company, or being a successful person. I don't subscribe to that. So I don't, I mean, and I don't want, I mean, there's a whole race for raising money, that and once we see these big names in the newspapers, it's like, okay, this is going to be successful. And but once you go back and see the number of, let's say, startups that have failed even after raising, let's say, 10 times more, $10 million, and that you'll see like a long list over there. So yeah, I think what I'm trying to say is that every time you raise money, I mean, along with that comes a lot of responsibility. Along with that, comes a, I mean, so it's an opportunity for you to make a lot more impact, but also the vision grows, right? And once you want to grow that vision, I think that is when, I mean, it takes a lot of resources and so on. So something similar happened with us also. So like, we were looking to start with solving the problem of, let's say, thousands or tens of thousands. And the moment we got the resources, I mean, like you said, some money, more money, I mean, the vision increased to be like, how to solve the problem of millions of people. And for that, I can assure you that $1 million was not enough. And I mean, so it does require a lot more, I mean, resources or money. And but yeah, I think we, as an, and that's when the real, the core of the organization comes. I mean, somewhere we have been able to keep the original vision, and or the original goal of creating an impact into people's life intact. And and that's what keeps motivating us, that's what keeps guiding us. And basically, when and the whole corona hit us, and we consider ourselves like a digital health technology platform. And we could actually quickly tweak it to go ahead and make a real impact into people's life. So yeah, so I think it has been an amazing journey. So in many ways, I would say the growth has just begun. I mean, I never like to call ourselves a corporate because it's not considered. I would say it's considered. I love ourselves to always be called a startup because that's the kind of energy, that kind of motivation I want each and every team members to have, and ownership I want to have in each and every team member so that they can go ahead and make a real impact in the business and people's life as well. So that's where the ethos of the culture of the organization is very, very important. And yeah, so yeah, I mean, we have been doing fairly well, and the goal is to I mean, keep growing at a faster pace than that we have ever done before. Definitely Hult Prize, the sources and the money that came along with it, or mentorship, which was very, very important, right? It's not about the money; it's about the guidance. It's the kind of people that you meet along with Hult Prize. It's just incredible. I mean, just the best in the world. It's as good as what you can hope for. All of that together has definitely pushed us, propelled us to do better and grow faster than we could ever do alone. So yeah.
Okay, that's great to hear. Okay, so my next question to you is, what is your take on the current India supply chain on the healthcare? As you are involved in that process, you know the day-to-day statistics. You are more involved in the things. So, what would you like to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, well, all I would say that if it's a journey is from 1 to 100, we have just started. We are at one or maybe at two. We're just thinking. I mean, we still don't realize the real problem that we're going to go into. I mean, there has been huge change in perspective because of Corona, because that's when the real impact. I mean, people have been really hit bad, which has definitely accelerated the whole perspective around health. A lot more can be done. A lot more must be done. But it cannot be done by, let's say, one party alone. Only the government can't do it. Only the people can't do it. I mean, like it's a health is something which we all together needs to play an important role in making it happen. I mean, things like, I mean, Corona is today. Maybe in 6 months it will just go away. But again, the whole diabetes, hypertension, and all of that will keep happening. And those are the things which we really need to put a good handle on, which we really need to somewhere. It has to become. I mean, like with Corona. A simple thing that we have learned is that we should have wash hands regularly, which we're not doing before, right? And but simple some things like wearing of masks, which we never even we can keep coughing in the classroom or office, and I still like that's absolutely okay. But I mean, like I have seen in much more developed countries, I mean, that's like a normal basic hygiene that I should, if I'm coughing, if I'm sick, I should, the least I should do is actually wear mask, not for myself but for to save others, right? And I think those things are important, should be considered important. And I really hope that the whole idea of preventive health, the whole idea of kind of comes in into people's life. And of course, I mean, we all have to demand a better impact, full health than what we are doing now. I mean, there's a whole concept of what is called as transactional health versus value-based healthcare. So we are still, what we call as, like, every time go to a doctor or a hospital, or even to government hospital, the whole consideration is based on that visit. I mean, no one cares about pretty much anyone once the person has actually left the clinic or hospital. And that's not the right way to look at it. I mean, many other countries have already failed in doing that, if they're doing that. So the whole impact has to come down to the value-based care, which is like, whether that really improved the patient's health or not. So it's not about having being the best doctor or best patient or the best nurse. It's all about, like, what is the as a you know entire team, as a society, whether we are able to provide a better impact into society's life or not. So yeah, I think still a long journey. But some of the recent announcements by the government and our Prime Minister Modi has definitely is helping, get to that faster than ever before. So I really hope that the impact, let's say, Aadhaar card has in our life, the same impact is going to have because of unique health number or UDHM, which is recently announced by Prime Minister Modi. So yeah, so it's just the beginning. So, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity, I think, for all of you guys to really consider healthcare industry as something to take up. And something very unique about this industry is that you can feel, when you make a real impact into people's lives, and somewhere you can see that you could actually save a person, or, you can reduce their blood pressure levels. I mean, it's a lot of human satisfaction if you're able to do that well. So yeah.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so my next question is, as you said, you are starting off and you are really building off something. So, how did the this pandemic, as you, I know you maybe have asked these questions many of times, but how did this pandemic hinder your growth or accelerate your growth? What happened?
Yeah, actually, in some ways, it accelerated our goal. So I know that 2 years before, if I tell someone who we know that is diabetic that, hey, you need to take better care of their health, I mean, they'll be like, you know, well, that's fine. Or if when you're talking to a corporate that your employees, you're doing annual health checkups, but what's happening after that? Would you know? I mean, and we'll not get a clear answer to that. And basically it meant that um, I mean, like, yeah, well, the health is that person's responsibility, and then as an organization, I don't want to. I mean, let's say invest my time and resources into that. Or when we talk to clinics and hospitals, that hey, why are you not saving health data of your patients? I mean, like, all you're saving is a billing data that this is the bill and the bill has happened or not. But would you know that last previous 5 times when the patient has come, then what has been his blood pressure, blood sugar levels? Is it improving? Is it getting worse? I mean, no one would know, including the patient, right? I mean, so yeah, so I think all that attitude have changed, I would say, quite a bit. As of now, we don't know what's going to happen once the whole pandemic is kind of has gone. But that the attitude has changed quite a bit, and people are a lot more, I would say, open to discussions at this point of time about their health management, and be it the corporates, be it the individuals, be it even the clinics and hospitals. So yeah, so I think the whole, I mean, given the whole focus or attitude of healthcare as a whole is changing. I think it's for good, and as an organization, it's definitely I mean, the way I put it is like this is what we have been saying for the last 5 years, but suddenly the number of people who are listening to it has grown significantly. So yeah, but other than that, I mean, we just continue to do what we're doing. I mean, actually nothing has changed. I mean, just the axle. I mean, we have got like a big acceleration at this point of time, be it the impact that we're able to create, or be it revenues, or be it so yeah. So I think we just continue to do the work, but the world outside have changed for good. So yeah, hopefully we can make a lot more impact in the people's life what we could do otherwise. So
Okay, that's great. That's great.
we do
Uh,
have actually I mean, like, so over a period of time, though, the Hult Prize challenge was to solve the problem of non-communicable diseases, but we did modify our solution, or to make it so configurable that it can pretty much cover any set of diseases. And when the pandemic hit, we could quickly tweak our solution to actually solve the problem for COVID as well. And early on, we came up with when the home quarantine was new, we came up with a tamper-proof home quarantine solution, which we did talk to the governments, but I mean, there were like limited, take up there. But we are proud to say that there are other countries who are taking up the solution. So we are providing the solution to, islands in West Indies, and now we're talking to UAE government as well to kind of implement it over there. So yeah, so I think overall, I mean, good. I mean, something what we always wanted to do, we are able to really do it on the ground now.
okay, that's great to hear. Uh, my next question is, as you know, that Hult Prize has released the problem statement for this year. that is Food for Good. So I would really like to know your views on the same.
So, I mean, if you try to understand what is Hult Prize, right? So Hult Prize is so it takes up every year one of the biggest challenge that is affecting our world. That can have, if not solved on time, that will have a huge impact on people's life worldwide in the future. And then it comes, looks for a newer approach to solve that problem, and that's where the students play such an important role, right? And I think food, nutritious food. I mean, there has been, be it health, be it education for kids. Food is a big deciding factor over there, and that's where basically, why the food challenge becomes very, very important. So I think it has come out timely. I mean, the real fun is, I mean, though, it looks like, oh, it's another food problem, but the real fun is in actually seeing the innovative ways in which the various teams try to solve this problem. And I think that's where I'm really looking forward to that, the kind of solutions what teams are coming up with. And yeah, I mean, like, I mean, another way to look at it is like, I mean, the problem for food has been forever, right? But the real, I mean, the solutions has also has been forever, but still all those have not been able to solve, and has not been able to scale to a way that makes a meaningful difference into people's life. And this is just another awesome opportunity to go out and make that impact into people's life. Solve in a new way, imagine the problem in a new way. I mean, you can't get a better platform than Hult Prize to come up with solutions like this. I mean, I think it's just an excellent opportunity to go live your life, live your dream, and earn money while making impact into people's life. It's as good as it can be. Yeah.
Okay, that was insightful. So moving back to your team, I would like to ask, what do you think was your X factor at while you were competing to the Hull Prize?
Yeah, I think our solution was a little complete. It was a true solution, and that's what I want to again mention that many a times it's like uh, let's say take example of a problem of food, right? I mean, you can always say that, hey, why can't I just spend all those money in giving people some more food, right? It's a lot of money, a lot of people can be fed for a long time, and why is that not good? But but that's not the solution, right? I mean, that's not a scalable, that's not a sustainable solution. I mean, if you want to give food to everyone in everyone, or let's say all the poor ones, which may be like 2 to 3 billion people, I mean, all of this money can get over in like not without even feeding everyone out. So we believe that our solution was the most complete solution which could make a real impact for the challenge that we have, and very comprehensive. I think that, and while making direct impact into people's life, I still remember President Clinton saying that what they really liked was the fact that it was using technology, it was using without compromising on the human angle or human factor when providing health services. So yeah, so I think that you can say was the completeness and the combination of technology and human factor to provide health services was the real differentiator for us, let's say.
Okay, okay, that's great to hear. So one more question about you and your team. It's like all of you were the MBA students.
Yep.
Am I right? All of you were the MBA students. So
Right.
what do you think? Like, what kind of is there any particular kind of student that can take on the competition more properly, like the B school students, or is like anything like you would like to comment on that?
Well, clearly the teams that have won after that, many a teams which has won after that doesn't say that, it has nothing to do with MBA or education level, I would say. I mean, you do get like the best of mentors to support you and help you. You do get the best of like be it even monetary support you get. What really makes the difference is what kind of qualities or the different so-called X factors that everyone in the team brings um, to the solution, right? And so while you're making a team, then what is more important is to that not everyone should have the same background, not everyone should have the same understanding. I mean, there should be people challenging each other. There's people should come from different perspective, different background, and some should be a good in technology, some should be good in people skills, some should be good in marketing, and and so on, right? So yeah, so I think a team with varied perspective, a team with varied, experience, is more likely to win, I would say, than compared to, let's say, a team with all being, just, let's say, from one and single background. So yeah.
Truly said, sir. Truly said. So, as you are also working with Nano Healthcare and you are also a consultant at the IIT Technologies.
No, I'm not. So
So,
you were wrong. So I started my career with I2, but yeah, now I'm in only even full time is not enough. You need more time to actually do a justice to it, and all the respect goes to all the CEOs. So yeah, so Nano Health is my full time. Yeah.
okay, okay. So, it's like you told that the Hult Prize came into your university and you were attracted to it due to the perks like the $1 million, the Hult Castle. So, were you into entrepreneurship before that, or that was your the beginning, the motivation?
Yeah, I think that was my first entrepreneurial journey. So yeah, I didn't do, while I mean a lot of credit I give to I2 in experiencing that at the various work or various projects that I worked upon. But yeah, all in all, that was my first entrepreneurial journey. Yeah.
Okay, that's great to hear. Also, as you know, that the Nirma University is hosting the Hult Prize at its campus, and there are in Nirma University we have a bunch of students that are really very interested in the Hult Prize campus, and the registrations have already started here. So, any advice or any suggestion you would like to give to them about?
Definitely. I mean, so the way, so if I can win, you can win as well. So all I would like to suggest is give it your best. Consider, I mean, the goal should not be winning. The goal should be to solve the problem, tomorrow. So of course, the awards and the competition is an important factor, which allows you to kind of, expand your vision. But the real goal should be to actually solve the problem which has been given to you. Consider it as like a separate course in entrepreneurship, and but I can tell you that what you will take away from this is going to be way way more than anything that you may study in a classroom. And this is a great opportunity to actually implement everything that you're learning in the classroom. So yeah, all in all, I think it's just amazing. So give it your best. Put in as much effort as you can in actually making it happen. And if you set your sight on it, then there's no reason why you can't win it. There's a lot of steps to this, and you will realize that the number of hours that you have put, the kind of discussion that you have had with team, you will be a lot more thoughtful, complete person than what you started with, before the Hult Prize journey. So yeah, give it your best.
Okay, thanks for that inspirational words. And as this year's challenge is food for good, targeting to change the food delivery system, the food whole food ecosystem. So, would you like to give any advice on which areas, if for example, if you were the participant or you were the competitor for this year, so what would be your strategy? Or
Well, you know, I won't say that I'll be the right person to kind of get into because I'm not the expert. But I think what I would like to say is like, is about how to go about pitching the solution, right? So I think what is very important is that you talk about your understanding of the problem. Food problem is a huge problem, right? But within that, there are multiple, layers of problem. Is the problem with people that don't want to eat good food, or is it because of the money, or is it because of the supply chain, or of the food, or what is the real problem as per you? So everyone will think of a different, way of solving this problem. So your insight into the problem is very, very important. And then talk about the solution. That, because we think that this is the problem, and that's why we are talking about, this as the solution. And then there are other things like in terms of, your solution, your business model. And the other very important thing is the business model. It's not, like I said before, it has to be something which is sustainable. The goal is not to only to create impact. You can never scale a solution if you're not sustainable. If you're losing money for every time you're allowing some food to, for when every time someone is eating the food, then that effectively means that it will, even it may reach 200,000, 1 lakh, or 100 lakh, or 1 crore, or more people. But there will be an end to that. And so bringing that business aspect to it is very, very important. uh, Please know, when you're creating a value, someone will pay for it. So you need to, at times, you need to really make them understand that why is it important to pay for something like that. And that's a tough thing as well. So yeah, so I think, again, these are various aspects of, I would say, an entrepreneurship or building an organization. But think as if you are building this organization tomorrow. Always think that if you need to start it tomorrow, then what are the things that you need to do. When it comes to competition, it's about like, who is the best team on that day, right? So if you come across as the most prepared team on that day, then that's going to be, the team which will be winning most likely than otherwise. So yeah, just give it your best, enjoy the process, don't get disheartened, and know that all the effort that you're putting is actually you're learning something out of that. And yeah, I think, if you do all of that, I'm very certain that you'll go a long, long way in this competition. Yeah.
Okay, that was very helpful. Okay, so with that, I would like to conclude the session. It was really great having you, sir, with us, and I hope that today's session helped the competing members of this year's Hult Prize Nirma University get an insight on the whole process of Hult, like the starting from the on-campus, the regionals, the Hult Accelerator, the Hult Castle. So it was really great, sir, having you,
Awesome.
and thank you all for
Awesome. Yeah.
this.
No, so Hult Price team is also very, very helpful. So don't hesitate in reaching out to them if you really have any question. And plus, of course, the campus directors are, I mean, amazing always. Right. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir,
Yeah.
and thank
Awesome.
you, everyone.
Thank you.